G'day, my name's Rob. I'm here training with Declan Purcell today. Today is the 28th of September 2022 and we're at Sutherland Entertainment Centre. I'll just get you a pen that around us. So we're on a construction site today. This is sort of what we're going to mainly. And so I've just filled out the learning pathway and my lesson plan for Declan. And I just want to go through a few things before we start the training today. So the overall objective today for your training is to show you how to set up a cable stand and some cable, look at a plan and just mark it. And so you'll be able to do that as we continue on with the project. In terms of workplace health and safety, obviously we're on a construction site, so we've got hard hats, you've got your glasses, I've got my glasses, and we've got hard boots and fluoros for the high vis as well. We will be working with some resources today, and the resources will be some cable, some tape, and a pen, obviously, for two different parts of the stands. And at the end of the training, I'll ask you to demonstrate what you've been taught, but I'll be teaching you how to set this up and be able to pull cable out for our projects. So what I'll do is I'll get you to just hold that for me, and I'm going to show you how to do it. If you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to have you ask me some questions along the way. So basically, the cable we're using is called video cable, but you can use any cable you like. It doesn't have to be just video cable. So you've got two different sizes of Rio here. Here's reinforced bar. We just use this to help put the stands up. So what we'll do is make sure that when you're doing any form of work requiring any weight, always bend your knees in terms of looking after your back, looking after your posture, so on and so forth. Now, there's a couple of different ways we can put this cable on. You can either bring the cable from underneath, or it can come from over the top, okay? So basically what we do is we just slide that on there, put that on, sometimes just got to wiggle it around a bit, just pull it to the centre, like that, and then all you're doing is just grab one of these stands and put this in here. In fact, what we'll do, might be a bit easier if we put the big one on that one, the big one in here, there we go. Stand on here. Now, you might notice there's some fluoro paint on the end of these stands. Do you know why we've done that?
Is that the minimum you need to bring it in so it doesn't fall out?
The reason why the fluoro is there is so when the stands are out on the job, people don't trip over them. Okay. So we're always looking for opportunities to stop people from hurting themselves when we're doing this type of work. Now, if this cable was heavier, we had more than a couple of rolls, you might need two people. But in this situation, and for the training purposes, this will be light enough for me to lift it. So I'll bend my knees, pick it up, and you can see I've done it quite easily, and just drop it onto the stand. That's how you set up the standing cable. Now what we'll do is I'll show you this cable schedule here, and you see there's a few different lines here, but what you're looking for is a cable called VTL.
Yeah. VTL
stands for video tie line.
Okay.
And that's the sort of cable we're using.
Yeah.
So you just look here, it says VTL 81.
Yeah.
That's for the TV in this room. Okay, so VTL is video tie line, and it's going to be cable number 81. So I'll show you how we mark that. So what we do is, especially if the cable's been used a couple of times, we just want to clean the cable. So just you can do it, or just use it doesn't matter, because if you put the tape on there and it's not clean, what do you think will happen? The tape, that's right, the tape will fall off. So all we do is we just put it on here, and we pull this through here. It doesn't really matter how long it is, but you pull that, see how it's nice and smooth, we can work on it now. But what we'll do is we'll put a tape on this end, and we'll put a tape on this end. And the reason why we do that is just so the tape doesn't fall off as well, okay?
Yeah.
Remember what the VTL was?
81.
81. Do you remember what VTL stands for?
Video tie line.
Video tie line. Excellent. So if we go VTL 81, but then what we'll also do, we'll do it again just in case it gets damaged or the cable gets paint on it or whatever. VTL 81. Okay, so basically what we've done is we've identified the cable, which is a video cable. We've set the stand up correctly, making sure we use good posture and bending our knees so we don't hurt ourselves. we make sure we've used the bar that's got the fluoro paint on it so others see it and don't trip. I've told you how the cable can be put either through the top or through the bottom, so when you do the demonstration, it doesn't matter. I've shown you about going and reading the cable schedule and looking for the correct cable, and I've shown you how to tape it. From here now, what we would normally do is we would then just pull the cable out to the required length. Some of the lengths will be 5 metres, some will be 50 metres. But in terms of your training today, you'll be able to set this cable up and you'll be able to set up other cables as well in the same method. So I'm going to pull this apart and I'm going to ask you to demonstrate to me what you've learned, and if you've got any other questions, please feel free to do that. So I'll just bend my knees, lift that off, pull that out. Obviously when you're doing that, making sure there's no one behind you.
Yep.
Put this to the side. This to the side. And the other thing that you should do, once you've run a cable in, is make sure you tick the box that says that cable has now been run in. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you could demonstrate for that, that'd be excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can sort of kind of even tell me what you're doing along the way.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do this small bit of video.
Yep. I was going to cut this off ready for Declan to be able to do his own one as well. So there you go. All right.
And then I'm going to run the cable in underneath.
You're going underneath, that's fine. Can you go over the top if you need to? You can go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Okay? Yep.
And then
Through.
make
Yep.
sure it's in the middle. To the knees.
Excellent.
Now.
So let's go and have a look at another cable number, just in case. We've already used 81. There's a few other numbers that you could use there.
Yeah, so I'll just use VTL 82. The next
Go,
one.
82 is fine. Excellent.
So
Some tape. Yeah, no worries. Generally, you make sure you got the tape on you as well. Yep. All of the guys generally have tape and pens as well, so
Yeah.
that's fine. So what are you doing there?
I'm just cleaning the cable
Why is that?
just so the tape doesn't fall off.
Okay, great.
Or it
Yep.
gets better stick. And then smoothing it out and then taping on each end
And what do you do that for?
so it stays on.
Yeah. Excellent.
And then writing VTL 82,
So what does VTL stand for again?
video
Video
twilight.
tire line. Excellent. Yep. And how many times would you label it generally?
At least twice.
At least twice. Yep. And do you know why?
So if one of the markings gets smudged or
Excellent.
impeded. Does it matter how far apart that the writing is?
Not really. The reason why we do it 2 and sometimes 3 times is if it was smudged or if there was paint splashed on it. So you do want to keep it a couple of, a little bit apart, because if they get damaged or smudged by the same source, you'll wreck both labels. So if 100 mils probably pretty good, which is about that.
Yeah.
So you've gone and set the stand up.
Yeah.
You've put the roller cable on the roller, and you decided to come underneath, but you can go over the top as well. You've looked at your cable schedule and you've decided to go with VTL 82, which was the next one down, which is excellent. You've marked the cable. Maybe just show the camera how he's done that, which is excellent. And so now, what would be the last thing that you do before you pull the cable out? Or in fact, sorry, what would you pull the cable out to its place? What would you do then?
I'd make sure to mark the other end of the cable
Oh, there was one other thing I talked about with the cable.
and then make sure to tick it off.
Make sure you
on
tick
the
it off there.
cable
So
schedule.
in terms of our training today, if I was to ask you to work with our other fellas, would you be confident to be able to set up a stand, a roller, and mark a cable and read a schedule.
Yeah.
Excellent. Have you got any questions that you'd like to ask in terms of your training today?
No, not really.
No.
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah. So a couple of things I'll mention, and sorry for the noisy site today. We're using these small stands. There's a couple of different types of stands that we can use. Sometimes we use big stands, sometimes we use ones with different poles. But the setup is all the same. It's all about getting a cable onto a roller so you can smoothly pull that cable out to its source and label it at both ends. So obviously once you've pulled that and you've cut it off, these are the cutters that we use, you would then relabel it. So what number would you label it as?
ECL
82, and then just mark it off the plan. So if you have no further questions, what we're going to ask you to do is, so I'm just going to ask Declan to fill in this feedback form, and he'll be able to tell me how I've gone training today. And if you've got any further questions other than the training today, make sure you come and talk to me while you're on site. So you're happy with that today?
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much.